No, it's a fifth line day. We're in gate 61, the gate of inner truth, the gate of mystery. And the fifth line is called influence. We know that first lines are the essence of the hexagram, and fifth lines are how the hexagram is seen by the outside or by the totality. It's clear to see that in the 61.5, the totality recognizes the power inherent in inner truth. What is projected on the 61.5 is that they have influence. Think about the difference between the two projected resonances. We have the second line in which the projection is outwards of inner truth, resulting in people saying, aren't they clever? This is a brilliant one. And then when you get to the fifth line and the outside is projecting onto the inner truth, they are saying, this is someone who knows. This is one who really has influence because they can bring about and inspire mutation. In the exaltation, the enlightened parental figure whose recognized wisdom and powerful assertion can mold a generation by its influence. The pressure to know that may result in influence and wisdom. The advantage of being the 61.5 is that everyone is projecting on them that they have the inner truth and their reputation continues to grow, and ultimately they are seen as a guiding force and a force of wisdom, which may be so, in fact, but it may not. The 61.5s are going to bring their practical thought, their knowing, only in times of crisis, only when they can get that advantage, whatever that advantage happens to be. What is projected on them is that they are the ones who really know. But if they don't really know, if they make an error in their knowing, or if what they deliver is unknowable, then all of that will simply crash. And that can be a shattering process for a fifth line. In the detriment, a tendency in power to want to enforce compliance to ensure lasting influence. The pressure in knowing to resent challenges and demand acceptance. The 61.5 is saying, I'm the enlightened one. Don't challenge me. I know you don't. And this is their stance in that. They do not want anybody to challenge their knowing. Now, of course, they're going to be challenged because the collective is never going to let them get away with that. And they better really know. Otherwise, that challenge can be something that will be deeply uncomfortable for them. The moment somebody projects on you and they say, you know, when you tell them what you know and they resist you, you don't bend to that. The fifth line has the capacity to be able to establish right away what's of advantage to them and when. And because of that, because they are under pressure from the collective projection, they can establish their own terms. Yeah, I'll come and help you. I will do this thing. And then when I'm finished, I will go away and you will give me my reward. They're always able to do that. So here in the detriment, taking the opportunity to influence, they're going to resent any kind of challenge. And you know already from everything we've been through together that individuality doesn't want to be influenced. It resents challenge as a way of life. And of course, it's very difficult to say my way or the highway when all you are is the inspiration and a mental pressure and you're not an awareness. You know, you're not really in any position to be able to say that. The advantage the fifth line has is that it has all of these willing collaborators because they're projecting onto the fifth line that it really knows, that its practical solution will work. Something to bear in mind is that not all generals are successful, and a lot of heretics get burnt at the stake. The grounding is coming through the 62nd gate in the fifth line called metamorphosis. And this is a word that we find a couple of times in the lines. It's also in the 12th gate in the 6th line. And it is always an indication of a highly mutative gate, a gate that is always open to radical change. Now, perhaps it's because the 62 is in opposition to the powerfully mutative and mysterious gate 61 that it is particularly open to change and to being mutative itself. And it is a powerful mutative force, this 62, excuse me, in its way. Being the gate of naming things, it gives it a huge power. Venus moved into gate 63 at 4:43 this morning. This is the head center gate of doubt. It's the logical pressure to find answers and relieve the mental pressure. This is the beginning of the mental stream of logic, bringing questions and answers and opinions and details to the collective. Mercury moves into gate 38 at 22:44. This is the individual gate of the fighter in the root center. It's the pressure to fight for what's important in life and not to be influenced in the pursuit of finding that fight. The moon is still in gate 56. It's been wandering around looking for stimulating stories since 2:41 this morning. Next, it transits into gate 31 at 12:48. This is the throat center gate of leading and influence. So we're back to logic here. This is a projector gate. It is so much better received when it waits for recognition of its leadership skills before it wades in. Gate 33 is our next transit at 23:01, also in the throat, but on the other side. It's in the abstract circuitry now. This is the gate of privacy and retreat. It's the reflective process for the experiential way, making sense of the past. And finally, gate 7 at 9:20 tomorrow morning. We're back over to the logic side. This is the role of the self in the G center. This is a direction gate. It's part of the cross of the Sphinx, and it's also a role gate, bringing us the descriptions for the authoritarian, the democrat, the anarchist, the abdicator, the general, and the administrator. These are all keynotes that you hear used over and over again as we go through these process of looking through the lines. So this is our transit report for today, the fifth line of gate 61. I'll be back tomorrow for the top of the gate, the top of the hexagram. I will see you then. Until then, go gently.